Really appreciate you coming along tonight and taking the time to be here. The direct to home process changed back in June, and what we wanted to do was really just talk about the differences that you will experience. Now, all three of you tonight are registered with centres with the EA, so I can talk very specifically about their processes as well. But welcome packs were issued out to young people's home addresses to other parts of the UK back in September 2019. But within Northern Ireland, we remained on the old system, which was that licensed organisations bought the welcome packs from our shop, which is known as ASL. And we asked leaders then to continue to distribute those welcome packs to participants. And that was really around the Joint Award Initiative. So in Northern Ireland, young people have the opportunity to choose either a D&V welcome pack, a Joint Award Initiative welcome pack, or an Irish language welcome pack. And we needed to make sure that those options were added into ED&V before we could move on to the system. So the great news is that those developments on ED&V have now been made, and so now we can catch up in terms of the process for welcome packs. So when young people log in, they will choose which welcome pack they want to receive, and it then will be posted out directly to their home address. So in terms of the process previously, if you were a licensed organisation, you would have purchased the participation places directly from ASL. They would have allocated the electronic licences to you on ED&V and then posted out the physical welcome packs in the post. For those of you who are within centres, then you would have ordered your participation places from your LO, so generally they're from the Education Authority, and they would have then allocated those participation places to your centre and then either posted, delivered, or left welcome packs then to be collected. As leaders then, you would have created the young people on ED&V and then passed them the little welcome pack or perhaps left it for them to collect. And then the young people would have logged into ED&V and added their personal information, and that would include their home address. So actually, the majority of that process is remaining exactly the same. And how it looks now, which is from June this year, licensed organisations will purchase their participation places from ASL exactly as normal, but what they will get will be only the participation places on ED&V. There will no longer be the physical welcome pack sent out in the post. As centres within the EA then, you will all continue to order your participation places from the EA as normal, and the EA will allocate those participation places on ED&V to your centre, but they'll no longer give you physical welcome packs. And once you've created the ED&V account for each young person, and I just wanted to remind everybody that you can create an entire cohort. And if you're not sure how to do that, let me know at the end and we'll be happy to send you the guide, because what it involves is uploading a spreadsheet with all the information rather than having to create individual accounts. So it can be really useful in terms of saving time. The young people then will get their username and their password, and they will log into their ED&V account and put in all of their personal details, which will include their home address. And they will then receive their welcome pack, whichever branding they've chosen, and that will be posted out directly to their home address on ED&V. So I'm going to hand over to Mark.
Okay, and I've had my first breakthrough of the evening where I actually remembered to unmute myself. So that's a good start. So how did we get to where we are, and just that sort of quick process, a sort of review of what we did a few months ago. So back in June, we contacted each and every LO and centre to update them on our new process that we were introducing. At that stage, we asked everyone to let us know how many welcome packs that they were holding, and so we could arrange to collect these. So from in around start of June, Julie went off on a tour of Northern Ireland, and I did a tour of Belfast and lifted as many of the packs, welcome packs, as we had been advised by the various centres and licensed organisations across the province. And we brought those all back to base, as it were. And then once we had all of them collected, we then basically reallocated those places back to the LO based on the number of welcome packs. So that was a bit of a tidy up exercise in itself. And if by any chance, when you come later on, maybe to start reintroducing people again, and you think, oh, I thought I had X number of places already there, that's the time to give whoever your operations officer is a wee ring, and we can look in and see what was on the system at the time, because some of the centres and LOs had maybe only 1 or 2 books, and they didn't actually respond in some cases. So I said we can always go back and run the audit trail to see where all the books and things are. So why did we do it? And what are the benefits? Well, basically, it now means that across GB and Northern Ireland, we have the same process in place for distribution through direct to home, which obviously in itself will bring some economies of scale to the organisation. And it means then that the young people themselves are able to select the choice of welcome pack that they wish to receive. And we'll see later on just how they will do that. And then again, it also saves the licensed organisations from storing their stock of welcome packs, which in some cases, especially for EA, could have been a significant number of packs sitting in somebody's office somewhere to be distributed over time. And obviously, the cost of sending those and storing those and et cetera, meant that this is a saving as well. And it means basically stuff is now only ordered when it's needed and dispatched centrally, so it's not sitting around. And one of the other main benefits will be is that it makes that sure that the young people always have the most up-to-date version, because sometimes packs may sit in somebody's cupboard for years, and then a new version comes out and maybe the old version's handed out. So this way, our guys back in headquarters will just produce them as they're required, and means they're always up to date, and the young people will always get the right information in the welcome packs.
Thanks, Mark. So in terms of the detail and how this all works, we wanted to look at sort of how quickly the young people will receive their welcome packs. And what happens that each night there will be a download of the database, and it happens automatically, and it picks up all of the young people who have logged in for the first time and put in their personal details, and also all of the awards where there has been a level added. And there is a printing company then who looks after distributing the welcome packs for us. And that happens whenever the threshold of 4,000 is reached. It's usually every fortnight, and that 4,000 includes the whole of the UK. It's not just within Northern Ireland. And obviously at quieter times, so over the summer months, it can take a little bit longer to reach that threshold of 4,000. So it could take maybe 3 or 4 weeks during those much quieter times. In terms of postcodes, it's really important the young people pop in the correct postcode, and it's validated against the Royal Mail database. So where there is an invalid postcode, the pack then will be sent to the centre's address that is registered on ED&E. So again, if the young person hasn't put in their postcode correctly, it may take a little bit longer for the pack to be sent out, not a huge amount of time, but rather than going to the young person, it will actually go to the centre address. In terms of any young person that comes to you who is concerned that their welcome pack hasn't been received, there's a couple of things that you can have a look at. So the trigger for a brand new account is when the young person registers their personal details, not when the EDV account is created. So if that account was before the 14th of June, before we moved on to the system, the leader should hopefully still have that pack available to hand over to the young person. If it's been created after the 14th of June, have a look and see when the young person actually logged into their EDV account to put in those personal details. I know that you will all be encouraging young people to log in, but if they haven't done that, that will mean there'll be a slight delay then in terms of the welcome pack being issued out. The other thing then is have a look and see when did they actually put in their personal details, and if it's sort of within the last 3 to 4 weeks, I would simply just ask them to be a little bit patient because it should be out with them very soon. We'll look a little bit around where you're adding a level to an existing account just in a moment, but certainly in terms of the accounts being created, the packs have been going out quite promptly, and at this time of year when the majority of enrolments take place, it probably is slightly quicker than even fortnightly. The other thing to have a look at then is, have they put in their postcode and does it look like a correct postcode? If not, then hopefully that welcome pack is on its way to your centre address. But again, as I say, there may be a slight delay if it has to be redirected. And then the final bit to look at is perhaps the young person has actually received the welcome pack. The little envelopes can sometimes look like junk mail, and I think we all get a huge amount of that, and generally those tend to go in the bin without even being opened. So again, worth just checking with them that it's not sitting about somewhere in the junk mail drawer. So when a level is added to an existing account, the trigger for the welcome pack to be sent out is when the leader actually adds the level onto the existing account. The personal details are already on the existing account, so the home address is already there. So hopefully then address hasn't changed and the welcome pack will be sent out. Because this has been introduced in June, the young people need to make their choice of welcome pack on EDV, and Mark will show us later exactly how that looks, both on the desktop and on the participant app for the young people. But for any new accounts that you're creating, bronze, silver and gold, it's very straightforward because they have to put their details in for the first time. They make their choice of welcome pack and that's what they'll receive in the post. Where you're at the minute adding a level on to an existing account, the young person may not have had the opportunity to put their choice of welcome pack in there. So what we've done is all the young people in Northern Ireland, whenever they next log in, they will be directed through to update their personal details, and in there will be the choice of welcome pack. Once they've put that welcome pack choice in, it remains with them through all 3 levels, and if they continue on through the award, it will be there. So once they've put it on, they can of course change that at any time, but we would say if they want to do that, they need to make sure that that's done before the next award level is added. And then I mentioned there about them being redirected through to update their details. So there may be a very small number of participants who fell between having their personal details updated and the level being added. And in that case, you can absolutely download the assessor report cards and the DAV reward card for the young people through the website. But we think because the change was introduced in June, it will be a very small number of young people. So in terms of leaders helping, things that you can look out for and encourage, and I know that enrolments are all starting sort of over the next number of weeks and number of months. So if you can encourage the young people to go into their EDV account and update those personal details, especially before you are adding the next level onto their account, it just means that they will get the correct choice of welcome pack that they want, and they can update their address details as well and make sure that that's all accurate. If they're in updating all of their personal details, it's also worth them checking that they have their names are spelled correctly, but also think about capitals and small letters, because while it won't affect them receiving their welcome pack at all, it's always great to have that absolutely perfect, so that whenever they're getting their certificates, be it a certificate of achievement or their full award, that their name is properly positioned and typed so that it will appear well on the certificate. Nobody within the meeting tonight is looking after leader recorded and input, but for young people within Northern Ireland who for cultural reasons may not be comfortable using EDV themselves, leaders have the opportunity to use EDV in their behalf. And we've updated the enrolment form on the website with the choice of welcome pack options included. So if you do find that you need to use that form, if you can download the latest version, that would be brilliant. And then the welcome packs and reward cards are available, as I say, to download. So if somebody needs their assessor report cards more urgently, or they had previously been given a pack and they've since misplaced that, those are available to print off. And if anybody needs any assistance in terms of locating those, you just need to shout.
Okay, so we're just very quickly going to look at, well, what does it look like on EDV? And it's like most of it, hopefully it's pretty straightforward and quite intuitive in terms of what they will see and how they select. So what you will see there then is the fact of the welcome pack type. It gives them the choice of which of the three they wish to subscribe to, whether it's the Full Duke of Edinburgh Award, the Joint Award Initiative in English, or the Joint Award Initiative in Irish language, if that's what they wish to choose. And again, it's just a selection of one of those. And at the same time, they'll be asked then to make the selection as to which of the three certificate types they want, whether it's the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, Gaisce the President's Award, or the International Award for Young People. So as I say, pretty straightforward and hopefully nothing too complicated for anyone to worry about there. And then similarly, obviously on the app, it's the same format, but obviously just formatted for the app presentation. And again, they self-select which of the three packs and which of the three certificate types that they wish to avail of. As Julie says, obviously one of the things is making sure that they log on as soon as possible after you've created the account. And obviously there's a few wee tools that you can use within your comms box. You will see that very bottom one we've highlighted there, which is the unused new accounts. If you click on that, that will show you there, and you may be able to go in and prompt the young people then to get a wriggle on, as they say, and actually get in and get their details updated, because that's when that's the trigger for the packs being sent out. And again, you can run reports as well, again, using the little options that we've highlighted there to run a couple of reports to see who hasn't logged in. And again, just giving a wee bit of a chivvy along, because that's what could well be holding up the dispatch of their welcome pack. So again, just a couple of wee tools for yourselves and a couple of screenshots of what the young people will see on their EDV profile pages when they go in to log in and get their details updated.
Lovely, thanks, Mark. So I mentioned earlier that we had a little bug in the system, and some of you may have experienced this already. So at the moment, when a young person logs in to update their personal details, the system is viewing them as a new participant, and they're receiving, in some cases, a duplicate welcome pack. In some cases, particularly if they're updating and they've already started gold, they might actually receive a bronze, silver and gold welcome pack. So it is with the developers as a priority to be resolved. And, you know, if any duplicate packs arrive, please just feel free to dispose of those. We're obviously very keen as a charity that gets sorted as soon as possible, because that's unnecessary expense that we want to avoid, and apologies for any inconvenience and confusion that it may cause, but we are trying to get that resolved as soon as possible. And my own daughter, whenever she logged in for her silver, she was almost finished her silver and the pack arrived, and then the next day the bronze pack arrived, and that's how we kind of spotted that there was an issue. So that was a bit interesting, but hopefully that will be sorted sort of very soon. So that's basically what we wanted to cover with you tonight. So if there are any questions about Direct to Home, please feel free to unmute and shout them out. When we've covered any questions about Direct to Home, I'll stop the recording, and then if there's anything else that you want to ask about, again, more than happy to do that. So anything in terms of the Direct to Home changes? I think everybody is happy enough with that. So I'm just going to stop presenting and recording.